flag while I get us up on the other one.
On the other one, we're wait. I can't even get my hand in this thing.
Oh, yada, yada, yada.
You bought this bag to torture me.
I did, because you know what? It's fun. What did you pick?
What did I pick?
Oh, it's the one that's too rubbed off to read, but it's Lucky.
Ooh, Lucky.
I like this one. Yep. Are you feeling lucky today?
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not. So I want to do a little shout out for Oregon. My friend called me on the way here, telling me that her house burned down. I hope she doesn't get mad for me announcing this live. Sorry if you are. But her house and her boyfriend's house burned, and her stepdad's house burned. She called me very, very, very upset, which was very hard to hear with everything going on. So my heart goes out to Oregon and all of those affected by all these wildfires, because that is just devastating news, and it breaks my heart, and all that are affected by all of this. I don't know how many there is, but it seems like there's been a lot that have taken on the damage. And my co-host is back. Are you ready?
Ready?
We're going to go on with no title, and I'll go back and edit because I lost it.
The funky slide guitar music that comes on every Monday through Friday on IE Newswire on Facebook and YouTube on that, bumping me out, moving me out of the way. Lots of things. The fires, we got the one in Ukaipa, which is devastating. The one, they got a new one down in Anza, which is, just east of the Temecula area that's burning. Stephanie told of a story of one in Oregon of her best friend, which is a tragic story. Go ahead. Give the...
Well, they got to go. I said on YouTube. They can go to YouTube.
Oh, you get to... Well, there you go. There.
I left out the Ukaipa and everybody down here. My focus was on her because I know her personally.
But yeah, if you want to get the update on the ones up, it's not just California that's hitting from these.
She said it's like just the entire town's just wiped out.
Our buddy and frequent guest Jim Riley of Riley Farms.
How's he doing?
Well, they thought the firefighters saved everything there, but I can't remember the name of the cabin. But they had an old cabin that they had moved there, and unfortunately they lost that one. But most of his stuff, fortunately, they were, I think it's about 700 acres they have up there in Oak Glen. It's a big place. And with all this, the restaurant where they do the recreation stuff and everything, most of their houses, extended family, I think, live up there too. But most everything was saved except that which was, which they were kind of, disappointed about. But from that, yeah, the tragedy of all this stuff is, it's heartbreaking to see that.
It's like, who's playing with the voodoo doll?
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
It's been insane. And I know I'm not the only one that's having,
no, I mean...
seriously, I think a lot of people have mastered the art of a mental breakdown and just hiding it in 2020.
It is. I mean, it's a crazy year. You wouldn't, and much to probably the chagrin of some of them, like Carla or Jared or something, that have a heart attack. But, regardless what you think, when Trump came in 2016 and everything, economy started opening up, we started, if you wanted a job or had opportunity or stuff, it was there. And then, I mean, it's just like the brakes got hit on everything in March, and then it just like, and we're still dealing with it. And we talked with Dr. Kelly yesterday of that, and here it is 6 months later down the road, and we're n- we're doing much more harm to everything than that. I mean, it's the long term consequences of this. Is like the fires. I mean, a few of us have been hollering about this. I mean, James Riley, when he was on here the last time, talked about it. How they're not letting us clear cut the forest, cut the dead wood, not clear cut, I mean, cut the dead wood out of the forest, or do, uh, you know, the normal, real environmental stuff that really goes on. And you look like you're doing something, and you're doing it under the guise of environmentalism, but you're the ones that are really destroying the environment. And because if there is no fuel, there is no fire. It's just like if there's no gas in your car, the thing won't run. It's going to sit there. If there's no fuel, no weeds, no dead wood, no something for it to catch fire and go, you're not going to have that. That was the whole idea about clearing out the dead spaces, doing controlled burns, and myriad of other things that we did. But again, this is like the third or fourth straight years we have had devastating fires in California across the board. I mean, they were actually per se what we had in 2 years ago were even worse. We're what the,
California was really bad too.
yes,
When was that?
I think it was 18.
Really?
It was more up in Northern California. That's what got everything started. Because I mean, what, thousands of people lost their lives, and hundreds of thousands. Whole cities were wiped out up there. I mean, just completely burnt to the ground. So I mean, you can't blame that on global warming or whatever, and of all that. But you can blame it on.
I think you could blame it on like weather. If we have more rain one year than the next. But we need, like you're saying, we need to clear out the forest. We need to get rid of all the dead stuff. We need to
Yes,
controlled burns. I think are a great thing.
it is, and we continue to not.
But we don't do.
Yes.
Isn't the ashes from those burns like really good?
Yeah, some of the best fertilizer is charcoal. Yeah, that black stuff that it leaves, that is some of the best fertilizer you can use. I mean, it'll make, I guess not all plants, but it'll make certain plants and crops and things grow like wildfire on that. So yeah, the that black charcoal or the ash, even the gray ash overload, or I mean, that comes on. That too is a great fertilizer for that. So it is. We're depriving ourselves all over. I mean, that's why I say my native people used to call this the land of smoke back in the 16th century. Because of the inversion labor, there was smog in Southern California back then. Because when they would do controlled burns and stuff, the smog would lay in here.
The weather this morning, was that from the fire?
I think yes.
Overcast. I'm like, I can't.
Well,
My kid walked outside and he's like, "Is it winter now?" He's like, "What is going on with the weather?"
Well, in order for clouds to form, there's got to be some sort of pollution, smoke, or something for them to hang on, for the water to hang on to. So that, I mean, they have from that standpoint. Yeah, I mean, I would say, I'm not a meteorologist, but with the smoke and all that stuff, I mean, that just provides a perfect environment for the moisture to suck up into the clouds and stuff, and probably why we went from 125 to 105 down to 75. I mean, it was cold. I mean, compared to the last 3 or 4 or 5 days, it was like you're almost ready to get a jacket outside compared to what it was.
It was great. I loved it. I hope it stays.
Yes, it is. Well, we should start. Because if you notice, like now it's down to like about 7 o'clock. It's starting to get dark. We're going to be taping like the daylight hours are going to start shrinking until what day? What's the shortest daylight day of the year?
I don't know, but my mic died.
Your mic died. You need batteries. It is December 21st.
Really?
Yes. That's a. Well, I keep getting the 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 no, it's crazy on that stuff how it works on that. And we do everything. I guess to pick up on your point, I was is 2020 the year we're just doing everything stupidly? I mean, that's what it seems
I don't know
like.
if you and I are, but it seems like there's a lot of other people that are. I'm just kidding. But no, this year has been probably the worst year of my life. The last two, I would have to say.
For some,
And that's fine. I mean, everyone goes through their seasons of
Yes.
life and things happen.
things,
But
right.
there's so many people that are saying the same thing as me that it's just
Yes.
it's making it harder because when you're going through a crappy time and then everybody else is, it's just everyone's sad,
Yes.
grumpy, mad. It's
Right.
like,
There's nobody that just bring that bright, cheery face to.
yeah.
To-
I mean, and then I come into studio to you and it brings me up a little bit, but I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's been.
Well, no, I guess I'm elevating because
You are a little bit. I mean, but when Roy becomes a highlight of my day, there's something wrong. No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. You're a blessing sometimes. Oh my God, what the hell's wrong with me? See, I told you I'm losing it.
There you go.
No. I hope that
Go ahead. No.
2022 better be better. I can't wait for New Year's.
Yeah,
We're going out
you're
with
just
a
rolling
frickin'
by
bang.
2021. You're just gonna.
Oh, yeah,
X that
huh?
out.
What year are we in? 2020. Yeah, screw this year.
Well, yeah, you just screwed it into 2022.
Yeah, because, well, I don't know. I used to think that the even years were better, but no, now I'm thinking the odd ones are. I'm ready for something. Anyways, carry on.
One of the things that we've heard about, and it broke over the weekend. Trump pulled all the funding for this ridiculous setup of these nutcases that are out there doing the race training and whatever it is, yada yada yada. And it's not, you shouldn't be a racist. It's all white people are racist, and you have to X, Y, and Z. You have to get rid of it. You are the problem of that. Nobody else can be this and da 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 da. It's been absolutely ridiculous. The critical race theory. That's what it was. There was this dingbat, some doctorate or whatever psychologist started this crap, and it's been filtered on. It's turned into a $1 billion industry. And what they do is especially big companies like take an Amazon or a Walmart or Disney or something. They hijack and they come in and train these people, or they hold these seminars and tell you what a dirty, rotten person you are. You're a racist. All the problems in the world are because of you, blah, 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 blah. And America is a racist country. We're all, we're just, again, white cops are, only white cops are just around looking to kill black or Latinos or whatever. Anybody that doesn't look like them is their theory. And the whole rigmarole, we've been through that. But to explain this, or to do this, this is one of these nutcases that has been trained by that Ashley Shackelford. If you don't believe what I'm saying here she is doing one of these seminars, and we're going to do just one short clip of it. Here we go.
That tapioca got you talking spicy.
So in this particular way, white people are all racist. So I just want y'all to know that up front.
And now for the rest of the speech. The talk.
Now come to the stage, Jesus.
See, but you see now on the picture of that, PayPal me, Ashley at whatever, da 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 da. So it isn't about, they would probably tell you the moon was made of cheese. It has nothing to do with that, but they've turned this into a cottage industry of making a false narrative that all people are racist. And now the big controversy over the weekend was Trump pulled the funding of this critical race theory because it's been infiltrating in the government agencies, schools. I think Oregon, where all this problem's going on, had this, or was it Washington? One somewhere up in the in the left coast of kooks out here that are running things. They've been doing this in our government agencies, so he just cut off all federal funding to anybody that was doing this crap of that. And of course that made a somewhat of a uproar of that, and Biden and Kamala got in there and was they're on the whole racist thing and yada yada yada.
But I want to know why did she do that? Why is she saying that? I mean, something had to have triggered that.
Yes, money. They're making I think they get like $30,000 or $40,000
No, but I'm saying,
a
like,
pop to tell everybody that they're racist. Tell all white people they're racist and they're despicable human beings. That's just the first part. They tell you.
But why? I'm wondering.
Because they're making money at this whole thing is about dollars and control.
How are they making money saying that though?
They're getting 50
I don't
grand to
comprehend
do
that.
a seminar at a place like Walmart. $50,000 they get for
Man,
that.
I got in the wrong field.
Yes, you did.
Shoot. That's crazy.
Yes, and they're taking money out
And
of
how
your
much
pocket.
how much hate they're creating
Yes.
in the world by doing that and anger. That's sad.
On top of that, sales taxes, income taxes, any sort of property taxes, any sort of taxes you pay are going to fund that because that's what I said. They've been infiltrating government agencies.
I don't want to do that. I don't want my money going there.
Well, it has been.
I don't want it to.
Well, that's why we should be paying attention.
Well, you got my attention.
Thank you.
Kind of. What were you saying though?
No, and that's why we bring this stuff up. This is Greg Gutfeld on Fox News.
Carla writes in there is racist in every race, not just white though, and she's right. There is.
No, listen.
There's racist in every.
That's not what the narrative is. That's what Black Lives Matter and all this stuff is. That's what they promote. That you can only be. Look at when we had
No,
Amber
but Carla's
Rochelle
just
on
saying that every race has
Yes.
someone that's racist in it.
Yes, racism does not know what color brown
Exactly.
your skin tone.
That's
is.
just an idiot.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But their theory and the theory that's being pushed hard in the crazy times of 2020 is only white people be racist, and the reason we're doing this, or the only way you can fix this, is give us money or control or power or whatever, or give you your homes like those two broads up there in Oakland that just went and squatted in the house and said it's ours. This is the whole mentality of this stuff. Because of
Joseph writes in the dogs can be racist too. Oh, and dolphins. Dolphins' lives matter, Joseph.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
Of this is Greg Gutfeld on Fox News talking about the critical race theory.
It's the stuff that claims all white people are racist in this inherently racist country. So once again, the big orange meanie does something no one had the guts to do before. Eradicate a punitive ideology that ruins businesses and lives, and it's one that you pay for. A disease born from the hateful halls of left-wing academia, critical race theory undermines the positive core beliefs of America by redefining the nation as an engine of oppression. This leads to discord in schools, families, and now even work. The top attribute of a great employee, positive attitude. CRT replaces that with grievance and envy. And what you're seeing on America's city streets are its results. Starting on campus, then leaking into unconscious bias training at work, culminating in infantile rioters who use this ideology to justify violence. You wonder why these clones accost people at restaurants? They've been brainwashed to think you're unconsciously racist, and they're there to wake you up. Unconsciously racist means even when you say you aren't racist, the response is, no, you just aren't conscious of it. That's a cult. But those who demand such indoctrination operate on their own unconscious racism. They assume all white people are one way, possessing white privilege. That's conscious racism. And Trump's right to expel this toxin from the workplace. Let's hope this bravery spreads. The survival of our country depends on it.
There you
All
go.
right, we'll go fast around the horn here. Dana, good move on Trump's the Trump White House.
You can't hit the, hit the
Got
button
it.
on that. No, there you go. I mean, you couldn't have said it better of that. That was on the 5 on Fox. Greg Gutfeld had the deal on it. And
Get off my mouse. Stop with the mouse.
oh my goodness.
You're moving it. All right.
But no, it's absolutely crazy. And this is what we've been talking about. You got no clear choice. The bad orange man, Carla. There you go. Here, flip up number 4. The bad orange man is the one that's getting rid of that. Joe Biden and Kamala want to give it back. So your little moniker that's there on Facebook, that Biden and Kamala deal, then you're supporting this stuff because that's what they're all about. They're all about destroying America. They're all about blaming one person or one sect or this or that of that for their own freaking failures. Because you have the best opportunity. You drew the lucky lottery ticket. If you were born in the United States of America, you're about 5% of the world's population, but you're in the greatest country in the world where you have the best opportunity, even as screwed up as we are now, to make it if you put yourself, you put your nose to the grindstone and work or do it or not. And if you don't, then you should accept the consequences of it. And what we need to do, what you should be doing is backing the orange man, and you should be signing the recall papers on Gavin Newsom, and you should be getting the welfare state, the stupid schools we've had that have been driven in the ground, especially in California, by that oh, Gavin Newsom, isn't he so cute? Gosh. I want to shoot myself.
But you say it more than anybody else does. Huh. I'm just kidding.
But it's crazy. And you're over there having a heart attack because Trump is trying to fix this stuff, and you're supporting the people that you even said it has nothing to do with race or anybody can be racist. It has nothing to do with your color. Biden and Kamala came out Saturday and said no. Now, so if you're supporting them, they're not supporting you, Carla. You're supporting them when you have that little picture of that and doing that on your Facebook page. And all of y'all.
She wrote in like a couple minutes ago saying Roy didn't like my picture.
Not the picture. What do you call that little deal? She has the Biden Kamala thing on her
profile picture.
Yes, profile picture. See, it is called a picture, right? Profile picture.
Profile picture. Yeah.
Yes.
You were right. You got it. But she knew it. Carla writes in, but he's cute though.
Who? Now I hope you're not referring to Joe Biden.
No, the mayor. Or not the mayor.
The governor.
Yeah, thank you. Hair gel. I don't know any other names
I'd be
anymore. No, that's a sad thing. I don't know any other names. I just know hair gel, yoga pants, orange guy, little rocket man. I don't know any other real names though. Sleepy Joe.
Well, that's.
When I go to vote, I'm not going to see anybody.
Yes, you're going to.
Where's Orange Man?
Yes. I don't see.
Just saying.
Oh man, it's. But no, you got to laugh about it a little bit, else you would cry.
Oh yeah, I do enough crying daily.
On that.
Yeah.
But no, it's part of the moniker of this. And we're going to have Mason Weaver at the bottom of the hour, and we'll probably pick up on this theme and some other stuff with him later. But this is some other stuff that we've talked about and stuff, and along with the COVID thing, we've been driving our kids crazy. Active shooter drills are traumatizing a generation. There's scant evidence that students internalize skills acquired during active shooter drills, and plenty that they are traumatized by those experiences. This is in Fatherly on that. And the Daylight Ghost crews murdered 17 students at a majority of Stoneman Douglas High School, Parkland, Florida. A blaring alarm went off at the elementary school 1 block from my home. It was the middle of recess, and I saw confused first graders and slightly toughened fifth graders scramble towards their classrooms. I later discovered that I had witnessed the school's first active shooter drill designed to train staff and students while setting parents' minds at ease. This is a world in which we send our children to school. A world of Sandy Hooks, Virginia Techs, Columbines, and the occasional false alarm. Such tragedies are rare. The risk of dying in a school shooting are about 1 in 114 million. And those odds may be declining, but drills to prepare for active shooter intuitively make sense. The same way drills to prepare for fires and strike at the sound. Yet experts, everybody out there again, I'm going to say it again, experts are not convinced. While there may be clear benefits to training faculty and first responders to maneuver efficiently during emergencies, there is scant evidence that students internalize skills required during drills, and the active shooter drills may undermine students' sense of security, triggering long-term psychological impacts, especially if these drills are of the high-intensity variety which feature real or fake weapons, fake bullets, blanks, fake blood, rubber bullets being strewn at teachers and sometimes faculty and students, and unaware that this is even a drill at all. What have I been saying? I've been at public meetings for decades saying, you are screwing it up. And you're not educating the kids. You're educating them all these things and telling them all the things that they shouldn't be, like like the Green Planet stuff. You're scaring the crap out of them for the chance of 1 in 614 million you might die in an active shooter deal at school. Yet they're doing the proper training is to have the staff and faculty be able to maintain that or to know what to do in that situation. You don't need to be taking a bunch of 7-year-olds and showing them blood and guts and gore and scaring them half to death and doing that. And as it says, you are doing more harm immensely, proportionately, than any good benefit you might slightly get out of this. So you might save one life, but you might cost 43 others in suicides, that, and any other thing, and mental problems and everything else. So
stop yelling, you're scaring me.
So why do school districts and governments do this stupid crap? Why don't they teach the kids, instead of stupid math, that Johnny does this, and if Sally takes one of these, and if 43 that, and the chicken flaps its wings, what the hell happens? Why can't you just get them to understand 2 + 2 = 4?
Oh my gosh. See, normally I totally disagree with you when you talk about learning in the school districts, but sometimes that's exactly like the question that they have. But, I want to chime in on this because I have kids that are in elementary school. For high school students, I think that would be great. Maybe middle school to see the raw truth of if you play with guns, here's what's going to happen. If you go to school, this is what's going to happen with the gun. That for sure. But elementary school, I think that's a bit much. I think that's where parents need to teach their kids anything like that. I mean, I've got them prepared for fires, earthquakes, if anyone were to ever break into the home. Like, you should prepare your kids to an extent. But keep it like a Disney or Pixar kind of version. Let's not be showing like brains splattered on the wall. That's a lot.
Yes, proportionally.
But I think schools
appropriate.
I mean, they still do the earthquake drills and the fire drills.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. You hear the alarm, you get up, you go outside.
But okay, and they did have a active shooter drill one time, but they went on lockdown. That was it. It was like the same thing as a fire drill. I mean, they didn't announce it, you know what I mean? But that came after a school shooting. So I think that parents are going to throw a fit if a school district doesn't do that. Parents were throwing a fit that school districts weren't prepared for an active shooter. They asked for that.
But
1 minute, 1 minute.
Like you said, in the appropriate way.
Exactly.
It's like the racist train. That is totally stupid. That, but they're hijacking, holding hostage millions of dollars, turned it into $1 billion industry to run a false narrative. It's like this. Now they're harming the kids by doing this and saying, instead of faculty training.
Also, it's the world we live in now. You need to adapt to the kind of world we live in.
1 in 614 million chance that you
30 seconds, 30 seconds.
Shot of hitting the lottery.
Oh, crap. I need to start playing. Hi, Sean.
Of that.
Hi, Stephanie.
Aww. Anyways.
So, we're going to come up to the bottom of the hour soon.
Stephen writes in, it sounds like Roy's against chemical.
10 seconds. Here we go.
MET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
IE Newswire Daily is on the air.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
I don't hear it.
Hang on. I guess I don't know how to adjust the sound meter as the funky slide guitar music goes sliding out the window, as it does every day. Well, not every day. Every Monday through Friday at 5:30 on the Mighty Met, 1490 KMET, on a
Taco Tuesday!
On that. And
Who doesn't love tacos?
And when in the
Now I
hell?
want tacos.
When in the hell are we good? Yeah, when are you going to be? When are they going to free us to go in and just sit down and have some tacos on Tuesday?
Maybe 2022.
You're probably right.
I keep going to 2022. I hope it's a good year for me.
I
mind
hope
keeps-
so.
my mind keeps going.
I was
I
really
need it.
hoping 2021 would turn things around because
Nah. I gave up on that one.
you got to hit the. Wow, leaning on the
felt
buzzer
good.
meter today.
I know I was on. I held it back. I held it back.
Yes, we talked about that, and we read about Trump canceled the funding on the critical race theory, where it's turned into a $1 billion industry of where they're talking about and saying only white people can be racist. They're hijacking billions of dollars now from corporations of doing that, and you know what? It's going to cost you more money of all this stuff, and it's going to drive you even nuttier than a fruitcake, and than you already are from all the madness that's went on in 2020 on that. You know, the devastating fires that have been going on all across the board on this stuff, and the one in Ukaipa fire, the one starting down in Anza, they're just popping up everywhere on this whole thing going, and it's just absolutely crazy.
And again, I want to do another shout out to my friend whose
Yes.
home burned down up in Oregon, and her boyfriend's home, and her stepdad's home, and many, 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 many others. My heart goes out to Oregon and everybody else in California, but she's my bestie, and I feel so bad.
Yes, it is. We're going to have Mason Weaver on, hopefully here in a minute, as we come back, and we'll jump in with him on the critical race training on this whole thing, because it's absolutely crazy of what's going on. And on top of that, we're driving our kids crazy. We ran, and this is another critical one. We talked about it. All the, they're showing the kids blood and guts and gore and all that stuff, and it's driving kids crazy. Of that, you're traumatizing them more on the whole deal. But man, the one of the guys I know all of y'all love, because there's probably I gotta say, of all the people I've seen, I can talk pretty good myself, but I've heard thanks a lot. I've heard a lot. I mean, I've heard some of the greats, that have been able to pull off a speech. Two of our best presidents, and they were on both sides of the aisle, that could pull off a speech, and very eloquent, articulate, were Bill Clinton and Ronald Reagan. No matter which side of the political aisle you like, but they were both very eloquent, get their point across, and do that. But this is one guy that I've listened to a lot, had him on the show now for 3 or 4 years on that. And on top of him being a great public speaker, he's a great author. Leave the Plantation, the book we've highlighted many times. But again, my favorite book is The 7 Secrets to Success. But without further ado, welcome to the show. Welcome to IE Newswire Daily with Stephanie and Roy, the great Mason Weaver.
Smoky, Southern California.
You got it. We were.
What are you
I
guys
highlight.
smoking? What are you smoking out there? What?
We're smoking a lot of stuff out there, and not the kind you're thinking of. It ain't making a lot of people happy. You know, a lot of people are losing a lot of stuff out here on that.
Oh man!
As we
please.
said, and I said it. We said it at the top of the show. The real people that are doing the environmental damage are the eco freaks that will not let you clear out the dead wood, properly maintain forests, properly do things. They're the ones that are causing all this stuff. And this is like the third or fourth year we have had devastating fires all across the West Coast of this, and they're doubling down on it.
But it's a win-win for them. They get to blame it on the environment. They get to blame it on pollution. They get to blame it on the oil fields. And your houses are burning down. They want chaos. I remember, man, back in the 90s, I went back to Washington, D.C. for a press conference with the logging industry. And they were out there, I mean, in Northern California, some of those counties are 95% owned by the federal government. They own all the forests around the cities. And therefore, you have no tax base to take care of the schools. So the people, they're complaining at the press conference about no tax base because the government owns everything. And the media was there. They could not understand the concept of why shouldn't the government own the land? So I had a question. I said, are you telling me that somehow it's okay if we get welfare, if we give the county aid, it's okay to live in a community that the forest around you is burning up? They didn't even want, when the redwood trees died and fell over in the storm, they wanted those trees to stay rotting on the ground instead of being harvested for money. That's what they do. The spotted owl was out there to make sure that they wouldn't cut down the redwoods. And when they finally closed down 600 mills in Northern California, the Japanese milling ships came in, took those lumber, and floated down to L.A. and already converted them into hardboard wood and wood products to give to Home Depot. We lost 600 mills, 70,000 jobs, and that was an environmental success for those clowns.
It is. It's absolutely devastating. And I want to get to Trump canceled the funding on the critical race theory, but I wanted to get your thoughts on this, and I talked about it a little bit yesterday. You know, the whole deal was, Russia, Trump's in with Putin, yada, 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 yada. And it has with this whole eco thing. Germany went haywire more than California 10 years ago, got rid of all their nuclear plants, said solar and wind. They went from 5 cents a kilowatt to 30 cents a kilowatt hour. Hardly anybody could afford air conditioning. Their economy crashed. They had to go buy electricity from coal-fired plants. Now they're planning on getting natural gas piped in for Russia.
Yep.
Since Trump came into office and started opening up the oil and gas industry, not only is America a energy independent, we are a net exporter, and they said, we can ship you natural gas for 50% cheaper than you can build it and get it from Russia on the pipeline. This is what the danger of the establishment is to Donald Trump. Because remember, they said that we're going to run out of oil, we're going to run out of gas. America will never be energy independent, much less a energy net exporter. And in 2 years, he blew that theory out of the wheel. And look at the economic and foreign policy. The United Arab Emirates made a peace treaty with Israel because they're looking at, man, if the United States keeps on this track, we'll be back to the days when we were eating sand.
Amen. But look at the response. Just if you want to understand liberalism, if you want to just close your ears, don't listen to the press because you will be depressed. But just look at their reaction to success. Their reaction to success is screaming and moaning. They're not proud of America being a net exporter of energy. They're not proud of America taking care of their allies in Germany. They are disdained, they're depressed, they're angry because independence means you do not need liberals. Liberals are the party of misery. They manage misery, yours, not theirs. So if you just look at them, if you want to know what political grounds they land on, just look and see. My last book, The Democrat Party Hates America. I'm pointing out that they hate everything that you love. They love nothing about this country, about the history, about the culture. They hate it because they are the party of slavery and misery, and they will continue to tear apart your country until you get tired of it. You guys in California, it's time to stop it. Have you had enough yet? Have you seen what is happening with your state? There is nothing they do that you like. There's nothing they produce culture-wise that you think is successful. Let's stop. Let's just vote them out of office, ignore the press, and go back and reestablish the great American culture.
And the third reason why you should do this is what transpired over the weekend. Donald Trump cut off all federal funding to anything going to the critical race theory. And this has now grown into a $1 billion+ industry. And this is how the scam works. Some ding-dong doctor, psychologist came up with this. Only white people can be racist. We got to have training for them and yada, yada, yada. And they do it, and they start with, this is their first thing out of the board. But this is, you got to watch critically. It said all white people are racist, and then it's PayPal Ashley Shackelford at what-da-da-da-da-da. They're getting like 30, 40 grand a pop for a one-day seminar to tell you that you're a rotten piece of trash, and all the problems of the world are because your skin is a little less dark, lighter brown tone than somebody else, and nobody else can be a racist unless you qualify as what they call white. I mean, if Trump didn't do anything, if he just got rid of that right there should submit. That should make him, like, as Obama said, a 57-state landslide across this nation.
Okay, I have an idea.
Okay.
All of you guilty white people. I've been black all my life. My ancestors were slaves. So here's the deal. Unless you guilty white folks send me $20 cash to P.O. Box 373, Festus, Missouri, 63028. You're all racist. But if you send me $20, I will send you a certificate of forgiveness, forgiving you of the sins of your ancestors. $20, cash money, and you will be forgiven by a descendant of slaves. That is cheaper, and you'll be washed clean of the sins of your great-great-great-grandfathers. That's a good deal. $20. Mason Media Company, P.O. Box 373, Festus, Missouri, 63028. Or you cheap, you poor white folks, you can just go to my website, Lethal Plantation, and get your own free copy. However, those of you who want to be exploited, send me cash money, man. I have a question. I was stopped at the mall today, depressing. All the major stores are closed. And there was a kiosk in the middle. They were selling T-shirts. The lady said she supports every cause. You can find a T-shirt that says everything. One had on the back of it had a two-hand, one-finger salute saying, impeach this. I liked it. That's a great T-shirt. And I started asking her about this. And this black guy walks up to me, just got out of jail, 27 years in prison. And he was looking at me and saying, you support Trump? I thought Trump was a racist. Big dude. I said, man, who on earth are you afraid of? This guy's shadow weighed 5 pounds. I mean, it was 3 degrees difference in temperature in his shadow. And this guy is big and muscular and strong and just got out of prison. What on earth? Why would a racist scare you, man? You're a scary racist. Who are you afraid of? Why am I supposed to be afraid of a racist? He's a racist. Therefore, what? These people are saying that white people are superior. They are saying that every problem facing black people requires white people to do something. The notion of Black Lives Matter, the notion of Antifa, the notion of all these training programs, the notion of all the Democratic Black Caucasian caucus is that black people are inferior and weak and need white folks to take care of it. They're saying that we are the pets of America. And I reject the notion because it is destructive. We belong, all of us, black and white, belong to the American culture. Prepare yourself to compete or be trampled over by it.
Amen, brother. And your little rendition of that took me back to my childhood. I don't know if you ever saw it, but that's basically what Reverend Ike used to do. And he used to be on Channel 13 all the time when I was a kid.
Hairdo.
I used to watch, and that's what he if you send me money, I will wash away all your sins. Is what he.
Hey Roy, can I borrow $20?
Don't send any of that loud money. Send that quiet money, dollar bills.
Yes.
20, 50. He wants you to send him that quiet money. Reverend Ike.
Yes.
The biggest hustler out there. Now they got the mild-mannered black preachers out there stealing money quietly. Folks, what? Did I say that out loud? I didn't mean that. They may call me a racist. I don't know. They call me Uncle Tom. I read the books. I'm proud to be Uncle Tom. Actually, read and write.
It is. And I mean, we gotta, like I keep saying, we gotta laugh about some of this stuff because if not, we would cry, and that wouldn't look good on radio or TV on here on that. But it's sad that we're down to this situation of that. And I want to kind of get your read a little bit on, because we're down to less than 60 days? We're
Really?
We're on the critical days. This is, as we used to say in the politics game, nut cutting time on the elections.
Ow.
Not only...
That sounds very painful.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
Well, usually, anybody that's ever...
Why would you say that in front of such a nice young lady?
Well,
Hey, I'm glad I ain't got none, so good luck, boys.
We're all glad you don't have any, but
That's true, huh?
But it is. Anybody who's worked campaigns knows the last 60 days are like hell. I mean, you're like running 24/7, 365 on this stuff. But this is the most unusual campaign or election season, especially on presidential, I've ever seen.
Ever.
This is usually the presidential on down, but mostly that is like dominating the news. You hear it on TV, radio, print, social media, Twitter. It's almost like, oh yeah.
You know what makes me sad though is every radio commercial I hear says your vote counts. Let's make our lives better. Like our lives are hell because of the president we have now. It trips me out.
We know we're being lied to. We know we're being lied to. The election is based on us finally showing up. I think America is tired of the corona hoax. I think they're tired of being called racist and mean. America is the greatest country ever conceived on this earth. And true Americans are just tired and we're waiting to go to the polls. Now, we have to worry about the cheaters because we know they're going to cheat. We expect them to cheat. But, folks, we got this. I want your black listeners to think about something. We're told to be confused. We're told that Dr. King and everyone else, we're going for voting rights. Every protest, every march, every demonstration that Reverend King had and John Lewis had, every protest in the civil rights movement was against Democrats. That should tell you where they are, where they stand. Every ghetto in America is controlled by Democrats. There is nothing that Democrats have done for black people in the history of their party that's benefited black people. You can name me one ghetto in America that you're proud of, that you want more of. All you're going to get from Democrats is the same thing you've gotten the last 60 years. You're going to get more of it if you vote for them. If you want prosperity and freedom, you want your kids out of these gang prep schools, if you want to stop seeing the drugs in the neighborhood and the shooting at night, if you want to stop this, only you can stop it. You got to start voting for your own personal interests and voting for the nation that sent 360,000 white men to fight their brothers to free strangers, black folks, and start supporting the Republican Party.
I couldn't agree more, and I want to give Steph a little credit on this one, on that.
What am I getting credit for?
Well,
Really?
like
For real?
when you first came on the show, a couple years ago, and it was actually on Election Day 2018.
It was
of that, and didn't know.
anything. No,
zero.
I
like
knew
nothing.
Yeah.
This conversation would have been like. totally oblivious. What the heck are you
It still
talking
is,
about?
just because half the time I don't listen when Roy's talking, but I listen to everything you said, Mason.
There you go.
Thank you, dear. You're
But,
still my favorite too.
Yeah, see, he gets it.
Yes, but I mean, but now you're starting to see what the importance of all this and how it all fits
Yeah.
together, and how it not only how it affects everything, but how it affects your life, whether you participate in it or not.
Exactly. No, I definitely do.
My loved ones in California, I want to ask you a question. How many Antifa members do you think are Republicans? How many Black Lives members do you think are Republicans? How many of the rioters, how many people crossing the border illegally do you think are Republicans? It should be crystal clear to you. It's time to stop playing the game of maybe they're okay. They hate your country, they hate your culture, and they hate you. And you better stop voting for them, thinking that if you vote for them, they're going to go away. The only way that they're going to stop, the only way they're going to stop the shutdown, the only way they're going to stop house arrest, the only way your church is going to be able to praise God openly is for you to get tired of it and get enough of it and vote these clowns out of office.
No truer words have ever been spoken. Give you about a minute or two to wrap it up and plug anything you want. Go the great Mason
Folks,
Weaver.
I am spending $30,000 of my own money running ads across this country on inner city ghetto radio stations. Answer the questions. Why would any black person vote Democrats? We're getting a tremendous response from them. But if you go to my website, leavetheplantation.org, and buy any book for the month until the election, every dime will go into ads around to reach people that will not hear these messages because they do not tune off the music. So go to leavetheplantation.org, search my books, buy any book on there, and let's get this message out. Thank you very much.
You got it, and we'll do it again real soon. Always appreciate your thoughts and insight because I don't think we've ever disagreed once on any of these things.
Well, that's because you're a clone. Right. You know that? You're a
I
black
guess
dude.
I can't be a
Come on,
racist
brother.
then.
Come on, brother. You guys stay right or be left. Catch you guys later.
You guys,
Bye.
thank you,
All right,
Mason.
bye-bye.
And again, I really think of that. I don't think that of all the times, and I think it was just, it might have been just before the 16th. It's probably been 4 years. It was either just before or right after the election of Trump. I had Mason Weaver on the radio show. Actually, I wasn't too far into this game when I had him on, and that. And I'm trying to think back, and I don't think we've ever, which is kind of ironic or scary in a way, but I don't think we've ever disagreed on anything ever.
How could you disagree with Mason, though?
That's a good point of that.
I mean, you, yeah. Him, no.
Well, if we agree all the time, then how could you disagree with me?
I think you just agree with him because everything he says is great. I don't think you talk a whole lot, or he might disagree with you. I don't know. No, Mason's a great dude.
Yes, he is.
He puts it how it needs to be put, and
Yes.
it's great to come from him. I love it.
We need the majority of us of that, and he said it. That's why, and I pretty much figured he was going to do that. And all seriousness aside, everybody can vote or support what they want. Just make sure that that's what you want. As Mason said, you keep voting in these nutcases. They keep doing this. That are promising you something that's never going to happen. There is nothing free. Ultimately, you pay for it. There is no taking from somebody else for this or that. Nothing just comes out of the sky. It doesn't rain gold or $100 bills out of the sky. Somebody somewhere has to, like I said, paid for it or has to provide it. Through the sweat of their brow or something, provide you with that good or service or whatever it is. And like I've said, governments, businesses do not collect taxes. Do not pay taxes. They just collect them from the government and collect them from you and pass them on to the government. So, and ultimately, as history has proven, you're going to get less from government than you are on the other side of the free market. So, it's really simple. And if you want to perpetuate the racism and the turmoil And if you want to see a preview what the future of America looks like going forward,
scared.
if you start electing the Joe Bidens, Kamala Harrises, or you don't get rid of the Gavin Newsoms and Loretta Sanchez's and on down the line, you're going to look back at 2020 and think, man, did we have it so good back then?
Don't say that.
Because that's where it's going. You either start turning this stuff around now and getting back to the way it should be, or this is your future progressing forward.
You know what's scary, though, with all this distance learning and everything? I'm kind of thinking of keeping my kids maybe in homeschool or something like that. I was homeschooled, though, and I didn't like it. They need that kid one-on-one time, but then at the same time, I'm loving being home with them and teaching them.
And one of the greatest things I think are parents are getting together and like half a dozen families or so with 10 or 15 kids and combine everybody taking their own expertise or hiring.
And to get creative with it and let's do an outside day and let's do a barbecue day where you teach them other things in between learning.
Like I said, would you take $80,000 a year to do that? Because
80, I thought it was 30.
No, $80,000. 20
I thought
grand.
It was 30.
It's costing $20,000 per kid, K through 12. So your tribe over there is $80,000 a year.
Whoop, whoop.
That's what I said.
My tribe, my baseball team.
Well, getting close. Well, one off a basketball team, but that's what I'm saying. We are doing what you see. You think that's worth 80 grand?
Doing what I do all day long?
No, dude. You think you're getting a value for your dollar? We'll work on that. That'll be a subject we'll discover. But
yeah, because I went over my head.
I think if we can reform the education system in not only in California but the United States, that will be a great thing coming forward of that. Maybe it'll be worth the pain we're enduring here. But until tomorrow on Wicked Wednesday, we're gone.